Alright, so welcome back to Delivered Coding. In today's video, we will try to build the Trello. So here is our result look like. So here we can drag and drop the card. We can add a card, let's say hello. And we can add a new list or even change the background to with the image or the color. And all of this image, we use it from the Unflat API. So I hope you like this one. Alright, so let's start coding. So for this project, I will divide in 4 parts. And the first part that we're going to do is to make the component, static component, and the part 2 we will initialize the project, and part 3 we will do drag and drop, and the part 4 we will get the image from the Unflat API. Alright, so first of all, all of this is so we try to divide the component. So all the list to do and doing here is a list. So we will create that component. So in here I'm create a folder called component, and inside components I call it list.js. So see, and then we do. So for the list here, as you can see here, as a box right here. So I use material UI. So I use a paper. And then I have to import the paper from at material UI, and there you go. And then in here there's going to be a title, typography, and let's say a to do. So now if we refresh this one, so alright, then now we have to call it in here. So import list. So I create a div here, and then I do list. Great. If I refresh this one, and there should be a list right here. So so what is the problem here? Oh, I see. There's the list here. Alright, great. So we have to import list from /component/list. Alright, okay, we can see here. And next, our list is going to have a spaceline, and then we have this one. Alright, so now we have to do some styling to our list. So for that, we're going to use style from material UI, make styles from /add material UI /style. Then const use style equal to make this one, and then we have the seams of this one, and then we return an object of this one, root. So for the list, we will do the width of it is going to be, so the width of it is going to be 300 pixels. So now it's, and then we have to put this one here, const classes equal to use style, and then we're going to classes name equal classes dot root. Now it's the width of this one, and next we do the background color. So for the background color we use E B E C R0. So this one, this color right here. And I think, alright, so now we do the margin. So we want the margin left, it's going to space 1. See, not spacing 1 only. Alright, cool. So we don't want it too close to this one. And then we will do the margin top as well. And I think that's it. So now we have to put the title into our component. So if you see here, the title here is editable, so we can change the update the title here. We can update it to done, and for that we're going to create a separate component for this one. So I'm going to call this one a title.js. This title is title list title. So this one I'm going to create a list component, and then I'm going to put the list inside here, and then for that we need to do this one. Then it's for VS Code, it's automatically update for you. Then I move the list into here, title into here as well. So if we look here, title here, it's both typography and also the input base as well. So for that, we're going to create a component title, and the title here first I will create as the typography. So the typography of this one. So we call this one a to do. Then I'm going to export this one. Oh, we already exported. So then inside list here, so instead of call to do here, we going to import our title in here. So if we go back, I believe it's just the same. Okay, great, perfect. And now what we have to do in here, and then we're going to divide into two components. So for this editable here, we create a one component, like a one part of it, and then we switch place and when the user is click on this one. So for that, we create another component. So first I'm gonna wrap this one with a div, and then I create another one, div here as the input base. So, and then let's say the value is going to be equal to do as well. Now we want to make it like a static, so we don't need to do, so I think it's, yeah, the value is to do. So here we can see it's a chain. So first we want to close this two right here. So for that, we're going to create a state for this one. State, I call it open, and set open equal to use state, and then we put it right here as well, use state. Alright, perfect. So now we want to twix around if it's opened. So I mean, like if the users click, let's say they want to edit, so we want to set the input base right here. Else, if it's not clicked, so this one, so open by default is gonna be full. Then I start with not this one, and then when this one is on clicks, it's gonna be set open to true. So for that, we're gonna do on click is equal to set open to not opened. And then if we click here, now we can change. We can go to input like this one. So for now, let's start styling this one a little bit. So I'm going here. I'm going to copy this one, and then paste this one in here, and then I'm gonna do the same for this one as well. And then we're going to classes equal to your style. Alright, perfect. So now I give this one a class name of, let's say, editable title, editable titles of classes dot. And now we have to go editable title is going to be a margin left seams dot spacings 1. And in here we don't need the root right here. We go back, it's here, it's great. And next we have to put this one, let's see. So wait a minute. So as you can see here, we have the icon right here. So then we're gonna put that icon in. So it's the same as this one. So for that icon, it's called more horizontal horizons icons here. So then we have to import it. So import more horizontal from slash no material icon slash more horizon. Perfect. Now we can see it's right here, but we want to be at the same line. So for that, we want to this one to flex. So then class name equal to editable title container. So this is going to be our classes, and then this one it's going to be, I think let's put the margin left to let the margins to this one, and then we want to get the display as flex. So now you can see here, but for some reason this one it's not stretched, so we want to this one to flex grow to 1. Then it will push this one into the end of this one, which is what we want here. Alright, perfect. And alright, let me see, what do I need to do next? So next, if we want to style when we click on here, so for this one, the value is 1. We call it I give the container this one plain text. I think it's alright, first let's give this one a class name. So alright, so let's see. So we just want to this one let's say when it's hover, when it's focus, we want to give it the background. So I give like an because in here we have the input prop. So if you want to style the input this one, so input props, then equal to this one, and then you give a class name of this one. So I call it classes.input. So and then we go in here, we go to style input, and then for the input we want to have the margin seams.spacings 1. So now if we click in here, it's the same thing here. And when we focus on this one, at focus, we want to background. Wait. So background color. Oops. Background DDD. So now if we click here and then we focus, we see here. And what we want to do is to have this one as a full width. Alright, so okay, so I think we almost finished this one. Alright, so now if we click here and you can see it's editable, and then we can notice this is editable. And then if we click lost focus, we want to switch it to this one right here. So for that we call a function on blur. So equal to this one. So when it's on blur, we want to set open to not open. So now this one, click open, it change, a blur. Let's go back to this one, which is similar to here. You can see right here. Alright, so we can see here. Click this one and then it change. So for this one, and then if we on blur, you can also make the request that update the title. So now our list component is finished, and also list title is finished as well. So now I'm going to push this one into the GitHub. So git add git commit -m's. So I said finish. Tada, finish list component. And then we do git push. Alright, So next what we need to do is we need to create the card component. So inside the list here we will have the card component. So like now let me do just some paper, and then we do typography. So for that I think I'm going to create the separate outside here. So we create a card component. So card, let's see, card.js, and then OFC here, and then it's going to be the same as the paper, and then we do, let's say, to do, let's say make YouTube videos, and then for this one we're going to export into the list. So basically I'm gonna put this move into the component, and then inside the list here we're going to create we can import the card inside here. So well, it's feel like it's not working. So we change, but I think inside card here I have a div with a paper of this one as well. So let's see, I think the card here I make is from here. It's not making, okay. So now I have to import card from /card. You can see we have this one, so we will style it. Alright, so for now I'm just copy and paste card. So for this one we just make it the static first. We style component, and then for later we will try to create the initial data, so it follows the readme right here. So in here we have a style, so then I'm going to copy this one and then copy this one as well, and also this one. If we do this, it's faster. So now, so in here we will have the card, so card, and I'm gonna put the class name here. Class name equal to classes.card. So first we give it a padding, seams.spacings. We give it 1, 1, 1, and 2 for the bottom, and then we give a margin for this one as well. Seams.spacings 1. If we can go here, now it's perfect. I think for the title here should be something bold, so I will go back and try to style a title as well. Where is it? So editable. I think this one it should not call editable, but that's okay. Editable font size. I give it 1.2 rem, and then font weight. It's going to be bold. You can see here, perfect. And this one is the same. We will do it the same thing with this one as well. So, and then we want to the input here. We want to get the font. So it's the same thing. If you want to style the input here, you have to create the input prop and then the class name and follow here. Otherwise you cannot do it. So we want to give it an autofocus. So when you click and the autofocus, blur switch like this, which perfect. And in here we give the margin. We should give the margin for that. Alright, so I think we almost finished this one. If you want to give the space, you just add another div below, but for now, wait. So yeah, we're almost done. And the next thing is we have to do, so we also finished the card component. Alright, so now we have finished the card component, so let's go ahead and go to make the input component. So if you can see here, our input component is the same as the title here. You can tweak and change around right here. So for that, we're gonna create two components that's going to change. When we click on one, it's going to change one, and then when we click on the other one, it changes to this one. So for that, in the component, I create a folder called input. Inside input, I'm going to create an input container that contain that two components. JS. So here, and alright, so the first one here, I'm going to create the component, the add card here. So for that, we're going to create input paper, so it's a paper, and then inside this one it's a typography, and let's say add a cut. So now if we go back here, if I try to refresh, which have nothing yet, so we have to put this one in here. So basically it's inside the list, all of the component, all of that one, so this one should be has input. So let's say input card. I call this one input card, and so for that we're going to create input container. Alright, cool. So now if you can see right here, it's pretty boring, so we have to style this one a little bit. So for this one, we're going to give it a class of name. So style, for the styling, I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to put it right here. You can use CSS for this one, but I kind of like to use this one. So it's a CSS file. You can make a CSS file global and set this one, but I like doing this one. Alright, so for this one I call it a class name. Let's see, class name equal classes dot which is not from here. Can classes equal to use style, and then we call classes dot add cut. So and then we're gonna do styling of this one. So I'm gonna change this one. We call add cut, and then for this one we're going to give it a padding of seams dot spacing. So I'm gonna give 1 1 1 and 2. So if we go in here, it's padding seams dot spacings. So now as you can see, and then we give it a margins as well. A margin is going to be space margin seams dot spacings 0 1 1 and 1. So alright, it's perfect. So this one is going to be class name equal to classes.root. I give this one a margin top a little bit. So now I'm going to, let's say, root of this one. So margin top seams, oops, seams dot spacings. I give it 1 as well. So it's kind of like push a little bit from here, so which it does not affect at all. Okay, great, perfect. So now we can see here. So now next we need to create one more component that when we click on this one, it should change. So for this one, we're going to add this one, and then we're going to finish the styling of this one a little bit. So for this one, we give it the background color. So let's see here, a background color. So I give it EB. Yeah, it's just EB ECF0. So it's the same as the background, so you cannot see this one. So then we give evaluation here. It's to 0. So alright, so when we hover on this one, so let's say when we hover, and then I think this is a lot faster without styling, but I just want to make it look kind of look good, so that's why I did this one. So 0, 25 here, fade here, which is come from style. So now there we go here, and which is perfect. So now we want to, when we want to click on this one, we want to change it to the input cut right here. As you click in here, it changed to here. So here you can see we almost finished this one. So alright. So now we need to create that component. So for that I create another file. I call it input cut.js. So for this one, we're going to create the component input cut. So then the input cut here, it's going to be alright. So we have paper as well. So you can see right here as the paper here is like as the title is the input base. So then inside the paper we're going to input base, right, input base, and then we give this one a multi-line and then the full width as well. So and then we also first I'm going to give this one a wrap with a div, because we need another div on the bottom, and which is going to have a button that say confirms, let's say add card, not confirm, add card. And then we have the one more is the icon button, that this one is going to be a clear icons. So nope, this one. So we're going to import this one, import clear icons from a Trello UI icon slash clear, yeah. And now if we go here and see, there should be nothing. So now we're going to import in here. We should put this one into our container, and then we can switch this one around. So let's say I'm going to import input card here. As you can see, so now we have this too, which is ugly. So I'm going to style this one a little bit. For that, we go to input card, and then we do styling again. So for that, I'm going to copy this one, put it right here. Then I copy the style here and put it right here. And then I'll do classes equal to uStyle. Alright, perfect. So now let's style our cut component. So alright, let's go into here. We're going to delete everything from here. So the input baseline here, there should be a class name of cut. So class name equal classes.cut, and then let's see a cut here. So what we wanted to do is the padding of this one is to seams dot spacings equal 1, 1 and 2, and now you can see like this one, and then we're going to give it padding bottom. So we want to space it a little bit. So first, give me a margin first. Margin seams dot spacings 0, 1, 1 and 1. Alright, it's kind of a little bit ugly. So I give it this one a width of 300 pixels, so it's identical. So for that, I think because of this padding, I give the margin. Okay, perfect. So now let's give the padding bottom to seams dot spacings to 4. Uh-oh. So I think it's not actually in here. I think let me go into class paper here. Class name equal to classes dot cut. I believe this one right here. Great. Now we no need to for this one. Perfect. And as you can see right here, then we wanted the input prop here as the margins. So to do that, we have input props, and then we do the same things. Classes, class name equal to classes going to be classes dot input, and then for the input, we're going to be, let's say, a margins seam dot spacing equal 1. So as you can see here, which is not working. So I think maybe I think I make some mistake right here. What should I do in here? So because in here it's too close compared to this one, as you can see right here. So I think what I can do is try to add the padding inside this one. Seams dot spacings equal 1, 1, 1, and 0 for the bottom. So this one should be it's not pushing, by the way, but that's okay. First I'm gonna add a placeholder of this one. It's going to be at enter cut a title of this cut. We did this one, and you can see this one, which I'm going to push this one a little bit. So we have to go into title. We see is the class name in here, and you can see it push a little bit, so which is perfect. So I think I don't need this part right here. So now then we need to style this one. So for this one, we call a class name equal to bt classes dot btn confirm. I feel like this now it's kind of like a lot CSS lesson, CSS tutorial. Yeah. So that's okay. I think I hope you guys don't mind. Just take a long time to change it, style this one. So background greens, this one, and then I do color slash FFF here. So we want it to here is the class name equal classes dot confirm. I call this confirm. So we'll say confirm, and we want it margins this one. So it should be equal this one. Okay, perfect. So next we're going to, when it hover, so this one, when it hover, we give a background the same as a green. So I think I should give the color here. So I can pick the color. So you can use this extension. It's really easy to use. I copy here. It's not a green. And here I'm gonna do here. And then I do fade this one with 0.25. So when you go here, when you hover, it's not 725, so it should be this one. It's good. Okay, perfect. And this one should be okay. So now we have to tweak this one. when we should be open, and then when should we close this one. So for that one, we're going to use the collab. Collab, this one is from the material UI. It gives you a nice animation for to see this one. So let me show you. Collab, and then when they say that in this one equal to true. So now you can see only this one. So we have to tweak this one. We do it the same thing, and let's say open, and then we set open. This one equal to use state, and then let's say for. Then I should import right here, use state right here. Whew, perfect. Alright, so next we want to do is to collab this one int equal to not open. Not open, and this one is equal to open. So it's here, so if you click in here, so what we wanted to do is to, if you click in here, whenever you click on this paper right here, it's going to change the opens the cut. So on clicks, when you unclick this one, so we're gonna do set open to not open. Now if I click here, it's show like this. Perfect. And yeah, so now we want to go back. We have to pass this one, set open here to as the props passing to this one. Set open and took input cut, and then inside our input cut, we will destructure this one, set open. And let's see, when should we open this one? We open this one when this button is on clicks. So we do set open to false. So set open to true or to false. So now if I go here, if I click here, let's go back to here. That's it. And then we want to pass this one as well. So for this one, we going to work on it soon. So like when we don't want just to set open, we will update in the future. But just excuse me. But for now, we just make this one function work first. All right. So now what we next to do is to, let's say on blur is going to be the same. So when we on blur, we wanted to set the open is to fall as well. So let's say if you type in, if you not type, it change to this one. Alright, so and when you submit also. So I think now our input card is finished as well. So I'm going to push this one into GitHub so you can check the code into GitHub for each of the following tasks. So ta-da! Finish input component. I think you might not see this one because I cut the screen, but that's okay. Okay, so now we almost finished what we wanted to do. Alright, so for now we finished part 1. So in the part 2 we will set initialize the data and add card to the list and add new list and update the list as well. Alright, see you in part 2.